it's Kelsey, and today I'm going to be doing a foster parenting book review on A Terrible Thing Happened. I would recommend this book. It's really good. This also would be really good for any kid who's faced trauma. Not even necessarily through foster care, but any kid who's faced trauma, it would be really good. In the story, one thing that I really like is it talks about him seeing something that was bad, but it doesn't show what it is. So that can open up for so many kids because it's not like one specific thing. He saw, quote unquote, this. He saw this. No, it's just he saw a bad thing. And in it talks about how he doesn't want to talk to anyone and he keeps trying not to think about it, and he starts being really sad. His stomach hurts because he just wants to talk about it. And then he gets to the point where he's really mad all the time. He gets in trouble at school. Like, he's so angry all the time because of what he saw, and he blames himself for what he saw, and all things that I feel like so many, especially foster kids, would go through. And then in the book, it talks about him talking to someone. It's talking to Mrs. Maple. And basically Mrs. Maple is a therapist. And she's just an adult that he talks to. And I feel like that can open up for more than just a therapist, but especially for a therapist, because a therapist is trained, and like in the story she's trained to talk to him, and they color and talk about his anger and talk about what happened, and then he tells her the terrible thing that happened. And I feel like this is a great way to open up that it's okay to talk about your problems. It's okay for you to feel the way you feel. It's not your fault. And like, talking to therapists is important, and I feel like this book does a great job of showing children that it's okay to talk to an adult. It's okay to talk about your feelings and talk about what happened, and it's not your fault. And the main thing that happened the whole time was he kept blaming himself and blaming himself and blaming himself. And I feel like that's what foster kids do, especially they're going through a situation. They're going to blame themselves and say, it's my fault this happened. It's my fault I'm not with my parents. It's my fault that they got drunk. It's my fault that possibly they committed suicide. It's my fault that they are out there getting high. It's my fault that they don't love me, that I'm not good enough for them to love me. Kids face that so much, and I feel like this book does a great job of saying it's okay to talk about your feelings and it's not your fault. And I feel like it's a really good book for any kid with trauma. And then this book also has the resources in the back, the notes to parents and caregivers, and I really like this one. And it says, witnessing to a violent or traumatic event are considered secondary victims. Surprisingly, research indicates that a child who is a secondary victim is more likely to turn violent. Oh yeah, he turned violent in the book too, in the future. However, when a child is able to talk to a caring adult and understand their feelings after witnessing a traumatic event, the likelihood that they will do the violence in the future is reduced. And I think that is great. And it talks about kind of examples of different things that could be considered trauma and that they may have faced. And then it also shows like all these ways that kids can respond to what happened to them and kind of what to do. And I think that is awesome, because I have taken a class on kind of issues with students in school that would be above what the class did, but I feel like this is great for kids with who have faced trauma, and it shows so many examples, and I think that's awesome. It also shows a resources guide for like other books that you can get that deal with trauma or that could help the kid, and I think that's great too. But this is a really, really good book, and this is for ages 4 to 8. And I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. And I'm going to go ahead and add it, even though it is at the top of our age range. I'm going to add it because we could have a child that's that age. So, and I think it's really good even if we don't have a child that's that age. If we have like a 3-year-old or something, or a 4-year-old. Which, if you watch my other video, we did get a call for a 5-year-old. So we could be placed with a child that is this age. So I really recommend this book, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful, and I hope you're enjoying kind of getting to know some of these foster parenting books that are recommended and hearing my perspective. But I will see y'all in my next video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.